If you compare my first 3 months of consistently posting videos to my most recent 3 months, people are now watching my videos 60% longer. And they're now 1000% more likely at the end of my video to click and watch my next video. Here's what I changed up. Hey, I'm Brooke Miles, and welcome back to another video where I teach you how to create a small business social media program that's easy to run, that gets results, and that you can feel proud of. And many thanks to Steve Rapicelli of Performance Physical Therapy for inspiring me to make this video, along with my many fellow business owners who want to get more into video for social media, and obviously what I do here on YouTube can apply to videos for all of social media. 2 quick caveats. Caveat number 1, I still have a lot to learn. I didn't start getting serious about consistently making videos until the pandemic last summer because of the pandemic. I used to go to networking events like a fiend. I didn't have that anymore, so I thought that making YouTube videos would be another way for me to connect with new people. The only slight problem was that I sucked at video. Here's a clip from my first attempt during the pandemic. So chances are you do have time and can do this. You want to start with about 20 minutes a day. Caveat number 2, I'm going to share so many ways I've improved because I needed that much help. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't feel like you have to do everything I'm telling you. Just choose 1 or 2 things that really stand out to you and start with that, and then build from there as you can. Okay, let's get started, and we're going to break this down into planning, filming, and editing. First, planning. Now, I've always scripted things because I'm horrible at winging it, and I truly believe, in the words of the character Allison in the movie The Sure Thing, spontaneity has its time and its place. The problem is, in the beginning of making videos, I didn't script things or plan things well. In particular, I didn't pay enough attention to the first 5 to 15 seconds. And if you don't want to script your entire video, that's fine, just do an outline or whatever, but script the first 5 to 15 seconds. That's because your first 5 to 15 seconds should have a hook. And a hook is anything you say or show that just compels your viewers to say, whoa, this is going to be a really good video, I better keep on watching. So they don't click out of your video and do something else. Let me show you what the first 12 seconds of a video looks like without that much of a hook and with a hook. Let's go back to that first video I was telling you about and show you the first 12 seconds. Hi everyone. Greetings from my home. I thought I'd share with you today different ways that you can network virtually when you can't in person. Now here are the first 12 seconds of one of my most recent videos. If you run a small business, do you have time for a content calendar that looks like this? I don't. So let's create the easiest and quickest calendar possible to rock it on social media. So you can see the difference. And by the way, the graphics and sound effects you saw with the second clip, I'll get to that soon. Another thing I did wrong as I was scripting and planning my videos is that I assumed my videos had to be extra short. I mean really short, like 30 seconds long, 1 minute long, 2 minutes long tops. And my videos in the beginning were even longer than that. On average, they were 4.5 minutes. But I couldn't make them any shorter, and even the length that I had didn't seem like enough. It felt like I wasn't providing enough value. But then I started investing in YouTube classes, and I got this key bit of wisdom. Your video should be as long as it needs to be and as short as possible. In other words, make your video as long as it needs to be to do your content justice and provide value for your viewers, but be on point the whole time. Now my typical videos are on average 7 minutes long. I will say that my average percentage viewed time has dropped from 47.7% to 45.7%. But my videos are 2.5 minutes longer. So it's a win. People are watching my videos more. But just because you add more content doesn't mean people will watch it. You still have to keep things really interesting, and I'm gonna give you tips on that really soon. Now, let's talk about filming. Now, the biggest question I get is about equipment, and every YouTuber will tell you that your content is more important than your equipment. And that is totally true. But when you're filming like I did in the very beginning with a blurry iPhone 6 and that had a microphone that would pick up every single echo and would pick up all the traffic right outside the window and all the motorcycles that would go by, that's a problem. I especially cringe every single time I think about my video that I made about LinkedIn profile photos when I was using that iPhone 6, and the visuals were horrible, the audio was horrible, so I was making a horrible first impression, yet I was trying to teach y'all about making a good first impression. I was being really hypocritical. Side note, not to mention in this video I was just wearing a sweat jacket and my hair was all messed up. So anyway, I switched from my iPhone 6 to what I use now, which is an iPhone 11 Pro Max. And yes, all of my videos are shot on an iPhone. At some point, I might invest in a camera, but I'm not there yet. I also now use an external microphone, and I've been learning more and more that when you're watching a video, it's not just the visuals that matter, but the sound. Fuzzy. And the microphone here plugs really easily into my phone. It's a Shure brand, and by the way, on this entire video, I don't have any sponsorships or affiliate links or anything like that. I just want to share with you the equipment and the tools that I'm using that have made my videos better. I also have a lavalier, but I need an adapter for it, and I just don't have the bandwidth for that yet. As for lighting, natural light I would have loved, but the window in this office isn't where I need it to be. I need the light here, and my window is there. So fortunately, my husband has these lights at his work, which is where I have my studio office. You can also use a ring light like I have here, and I use this when I'm doing Zoom calls at home. But take the time to figure out the right position for your lights. This is something I struggled with my first videos, and it took me a while to figure out. As for the filming itself, when I'm actually recording, I have to be honest, because here's something I still need to improve. And that is, I get super nervous in front of the camera, so much so that when you see a 10-minute video of mine, that's the best I could find out of approximately 50 to 60 minutes of footage. Here's my typical attempt at trying to say something. Now my average video, now my typical videos average 7 minutes, or on average. I don't exactly know why I feel compelled to tell you this when this video should be all about all the improvements I've made, but if you struggle in this area, I just want to let you know you're totally not alone. I deal with this all the time. Okay, let's get back to something more positive. And one thing I do differently now is that I'm more intentional about filming scenes in different places. Most of my footage is still here in the office, but I change things up a lot more now to help tell the story better. And this brings me to the topic I am most passionate about, which is editing. Over the last year, I have learned how important editing is. It turns out I love editing, but for the amount of editing I want to do, it can get really time consuming. So at some point I might outsource that task. In the meantime, I'm still holding on to it because I'm a control freak. Anyway, I edit everything in iMovie, partially because I knew it was something I could teach myself, albeit slowly teach myself, but also because it's free. At some point, I might invest in Final Cut Pro, but right now I just don't have the bandwidth to learn a new program. But no matter what editing software you use, probably the most important editing concept I have learned over the last year that has kept people watching my videos longer is to switch things up every 3 to 5 seconds. The 3 to 5 second rule I've been hearing so much in the video editing world, and it's especially critical if you're doing a talking head video like I'm doing right here. So let me illustrate this for you. Imagine watching a talking head video where there's no movement at all, and the video just goes on and on like this. No movement, no changes, for 7 minutes. Would you watch it? But I don't do that now. About every 3 to 5 seconds, I typically have a jump cut. Here's another. Or sometimes if I'm saying something, it's going really smoothly, I don't feel like a jump cut is going to really work, then I'll go ahead and zoom into myself, or I'll zoom out. The key is there's movement. Another way I've been breaking up the monotony is with B-roll. And B-roll is pretty much footage you put on top of other footage. For instance, right now, you're seeing B-roll of a cupcake being prepared, which would make sense if this video were about cupcakes. And I use story blocks for a lot of my footage, unless I'm making my own footage, such as screen shares or other things. Another thing I do differently now is that I use overlays like this if I want to introduce a new topic, and again, it keeps things visually interesting. And I create all of my overlays in Canva. I have a Canva Pro account because there's just more stuff you can do with it, but there's so much you can do with the free account as well. So here in Canva is where I created that overlay. Or in the scene I showed earlier with the crazy content calendar, also in Canva. Another thing I changed up is that I use way more sound effects and way more music than I did before. And I use Epidemic Sound, which has an insane library of sound effects and music of every genre. It's really awesome. So whether you want sad music, or happy music, or angry music, or you want to hear a clock ticking, or fireworks, Epidemic Sound seems to have everything, and I love it. And this brings me to a key bonus concept, which is I ask for help way more than I used to. For instance, my son Brandon helps me immensely when it comes to finding the right sound effects and the right music.
Hi.
And my summer intern Shreya, has been awesome at reviewing my scripts and my rough cuts to see how we can make the viewer experience better. I've also been better about asking for help when I literally need another hand. My husband and my 2 boys have all been cameramen when we're filming special scenes. So if you have someone in your company or your network or in your family who's willing to lend a hand, ask for help. I promise you, it'll make all of your videos better, whether it's for YouTube or any of your social media. Now that you know how to make your videos better, your next step is to learn how to stand out among all your competitors in all your social media because you and your brand deserve a unique voice. So watch this video in the top right corner about standing out. Thanks, and see you in the next video.